Good morning. Today is Thursday. It is the 23rd day of Menachem Av, and we continue in the Tanya, in the seventh letter of the Igeret HaKodesh, the holy letters that the Alter Rebbe wrote. So yesterday we spoke about the amount of mitzvahs, the commandments that we have in the Torah, which of course in general it's Taryag, 613 commandments. But there are much more than that, because each mitzvah contains many laws. And we said that this corresponds to the levels, the different neshamas that comes from Adam Rishon, Adam, who was the first man that included in him all of the neshamas, all of the souls of the future, the Jewish people. But in general, it's divided to 613 neshamas. Now, each neshama, each soul, is subdivided to many other neshamas. And if Adam Rishon would have not sinned, then those neshamas they would continue from him directly, except that the sin caused this neshama to stop, and then it resumed with Avraham Avinu and completed with Yakov Avinu. But Yakov Avinu was the continuation of Adam Rishon. So Adam Rishon had all of the neshamas included in his neshama, and Yakov was a continuation of Adam Rishon, similar to Adam. There's an interesting Gemara in Baba Metzia. The Talmud says, it talks about the beauty of certain sages, and it mentions about Rav Kahana had the beauty to him. It says that his beauty was similar, resembled to the beauty of Rabbi Abo, and Shufraya the Rabbi Avo, the beauty of Rabbi Avo was a semblance of the beauty of Yaakov Avinu, and the beauty of Yaakov Avinu was a semblance of the beauty of Adam Rishon. We see, obviously, the beauty when we're talking about here is not talking about only about the physical beauty, we're talking about the spiritual element. And here the Alter Rebbe quotes this Talmud, and it says that the beauty of Yaakov Avinu is a semblance of the beauty of Adam Rishon, which means that just like Adam had a neshama that included in him all of the neshamas, all of the souls of the future of the Jewish people, so too there's the neshama of Yaakov Avinu, which includes all of the neshamas. And thereby, the Alter Rebbe is going to explain the verse that we mentioned 2 days ago, that Hashem, where it says, Vayikra loi keila lokei Yisrael. Now, when Yaakov Avinu built the altar to thank Hashem, he called it the God of Israel. And we said that one of the explanations is, what does it mean? What is it referring to? That it refers to Yaakov himself, as we shall see inside. So let's look inside. Okay, getting there. Just a second. There we go. Says the Alter Rebbe, V'hinei shefraya de Yaakov me'ein shefraya de Adam Rishon. Now the consummate beauty of Yaakov resembles the consummate beauty of Adam. And what happened? What in Yaakov Avinu is shetikein chet Adam Rishon. And because Yaakov rectified the sin of Adam Rishon. And this is why, because he rectified the sin of Adam Rishon, this is why Yaakov Avinu continues the task, the job of Adam Rishon, having all of the neshamas, all of the souls included in his neshama. V'ois hanishmasai gam kein klula mikol haneshama shebei Yisrael. So his soul too comprised all of the souls of Israel. Me'olam ad olam, from world to world, meaning there is a revealed world, there is the concealed world, and Yaakov Avinu consumed comprised all of the neshamas. V'haya merkava leteira shelemayla shenikres b'shem Adam. Moreover, Yaakov was a vehicle for the Torah in its heavenly state, which was referred to as Adam. So like we said yesterday, there is the 613 mitzvahs, which correspond to the 613 neshamas. And the person through the Torah is enables to draw down this different elements, the different parts of energy from Hashem into this world. Because the Torah is referred to as Adam, as it says in the Torah, there's a pasuk that says, Zois ha-Torah Adam. There's a pasuk which talks about the laws of purity, Zois ha-Torah Adam keyamas ba'oil, a man that will die in the tent. But the word Zois ha-Torah Adam is also interpreted as, this is the Torah, Adam. The Adam is referred to as Torah. Now it brings another verse that it says, this is from the prophet Ezekiel. It says, it is written, on the likeness of the throne there was a likeness as the appearance of Adam. And the Kabbalah says that this refers to the Torah. And as it is written, that this Zois was the custom in former time in Israel. This is a verse in the book of Ruth. V'zois lifnim be'Yisrael, and the interpretation here is that V'zois, which refers to the Torah, is lifnim be'Yisrael. This is the lifnim means the inside. So lifnim can also mean a former. That the literal meaning of this verse, that this was a former custom in Israel. But here the deeper meaning of this verse is V'zois, and this, lifnim, which means inside the Israel of Israel, which means that the Torah is inside of Israel. Ein Zois ela Torah. And Zois refers only to Torah. Shehoisa klula umelubeshes, that the Torah was contained and vested benishmas Israel, Saba, in the soul of Israel, the patriarch. Saba means grandfather, the patriarch. Aklula mikol neshamas, which is neshama, Yaakov's neshama, is compounded from all of the souls. And this way, the Alter Rebbe explains the verse that we mentioned earlier in the beginning of the chapter. This is the meaning of the verse that it says, and he called it the God, the Kael, the God of Israel. Now, what is he talking about? Again, we're talking about when Yaakov Avinu built the altar. It says he called this the God of Israel. And one interpretation means he called the altar is an altar for the God of Israel. And other interpretations, Vayikra Lo, is that Hashem called Yakov, Kael Elokei Israel, the God of Israel. Says the Alter Rebbe, Kael, the word Kael, Loshein Amshochas Ha'ora Me'oirin Sov Baruch Hu. The word Kael, the name Kael, signifies the man's calling forth the radiation from the Ein Sof light. Kael is chesed. It's drawing down the radiation from Hashem, the Ein Sof light, the endless light of Hashem. Me'ahelem el hagilui. And this radiation of the light is being drawn down from its state of concealment to a state of revelation. And revelation where? Lehoir b'pchinas gilui benishmasai, so that it should illuminate manifestly in man's soul, because there is hidden, the godly spark of Hashem is hidden in us. We need to bring it out to reveal that spark. And as it is written, Kael is the Lord, and He was given us light. He has given us light. Now, once again, this indicates that a Kael is about illumination, about bringing light. So this refers to Yakov Avinu. Hashem says, Kael Elokei Israel, that this is the light that draws down the light from Hashem into Yakov Avinu, into the neshama of Yakov Avinu. Now says the Alter Rebbe, don't you think that the light of the neshama is only for Yakov Avinu? But through Yakov Avinu, this light really continues to shine in each and every Yiddish neshama, in each and every soul. It says, "Ve'acharov kol yishrei leiv," and after Yaakov, the infinite Ein Sof light and shines openly into the souls of all the upright of heart. What does it mean, the upright of heart? The Rebbe explains that Yishrei Leiv, the upright of heart, refers to the name Israel. Israel makes Yashar Kel, that is heart, that Yaakov Avinu refers to as straight, Yashar Kel. He says, so all the Yidden that follow in that direction, and they study the Torah mitzvahs, that study the Torah and the mitzvahs, Meir Oir Hashem Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So the light of the endless light of Hashem shines in them, b'pchinas gilui benishmasam, in a revealed way in their soul. So this is explanation of what we said in the verse in the beginning of the chapter, that it says, Ashreinu matov chalkeinu, how fortunate we are, how good is our share. And we ask, what does it mean, the share? Can Hashem be divisible? And we explain that obviously Hashem, the way Hashem is not divisible. But the way Hashem brings down His energy, and it is after contraction and becomes a reflection of a reflection of His name. Finally, it becomes divisible into 613 parts. And this is the 613 parts correspond to the 613 mitzvahs, which are subdivided into many other mitzvahs. And this is the light that comes and shines b'pchinas gilu, in an open, revealed way into the neshama of each and every Jew. And Alter Rebbe concludes and he says, "V'zman gilui zeh beyeser se'ez veyeser oz," and the time, what is the most elevating and most powerful manifestation of this divine radiance? When is the time that is manifest and it is being revealed? Ahora b'moichem v'libam, in the mind and the heart. Ubishas tefillah is in the time of prayer. And this in time of prayer as explained elsewhere. So here, that means that the prayer brings the mitzvahs into revelation, and it is the tefillah is considered a sulam. It is considered a ladder that serves for the person to be able to elevate himself and to reach to these higher levels of revelation. And indeed, when a person prays, a person davens, this is why we do it on a daily basis. This is why tefillah, the prayer, is not something which is you're coming to ask a shopping list from Hashem. It is a time of spiritual elevation, and this is done because of the koyach that we have from Yaakov Avinu, which is the general neshama. And more particularly, it says this general neshama is in every single generation. There is a continuation of the neshama of Yaakov Avinu, and they in turn help the Jew to connect to his very essence, the neshama of the Yid. This is the end of today's Tanya Shir. We'll continue tomorrow morning, Bezrat Hashem, 9 a.m. Please join us live, and please share and subscribe. Should have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have any questions, yeah, sure, now is the time.